Awesome. Awesome. Wonderful. Sunday and John, welcome. If you get a chance, unmute yourself and tell us where you're calling in from.
Hi, I'm calling from Nigeria.
Okay. Are you in Lagos?
Me, Port Harcourt.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And if anyone decides that they're going to join us, they can just hop in the middle. I am recording, so I will share the link to the recording when we're all done. My name is Susie Taylor. I live in near Columbus, Ohio, which is in the United States, and I am a copywriter and a messaging strategist. I do these webinars once a month. I repeat them every 3 months. So once a quarter, I'll do a webinar on funnels. My other webinars are on ideal clients and then building a web page or a website that really attracts people. So let's get started. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so you should be able to see the leaky fun or leaky pipes and my funnel leaks first slide. Is that what you see?
Yeah, got that.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, well, today I want to talk about funnel leaks. Um, what are funnel leaks? Well, first of all, I think you have to answer the question, what is a funnel? But before we get there, let's talk about as business owners, what are we doing? We all do marketing. We hope we're doing marketing the way we're supposed to. But for somehow, some way, we're not getting the clients that we had hoped we would. And it's not because you haven't been working hard. It's not because you haven't been reaching out. It's simply because the journey that you're setting your customers on allows them to drop out. And that has to do with your messaging. So, we're going to there's a big gap between someone who's interested and then someone who you can then call a client. And uh, that the gap there, that bridge is called a customer journey. And a funnel or a sales funnel is actually the process that you go through to lead people through that journey from being someone who doesn't know who you are all the way to someone who is going to buy from you. So today we will talk about what a funnel really is, where people will drop out of the funnel. I'm calling those leaks in your funnel, how to fix those leaks, and then a 5-part framework to help you build your own funnel. So a funnel is not a complicated tech system. It really has nothing to do with tech at all. It's simply the process that your customers go through from first identifying that they have a problem to finding you to realizing you can help them solve their problem to them becoming a customer of yours. That's all it is. It's just the process from one end to the other. There's no fancy software. It's called a funnel because a lot of people start at the top. The very first thing that you need to do in a funnel is attract people's attention. You get a lot of people at that point, and as they move through the process that you have built into your marketing, uh, they become fewer and fewer to the point where once you get someone who's going to buy from you, those are the people who are your tribe. They're the ones who get you. They're the ones who understand you and they trust you. So that's what a funnel is and what it's not. It's not some complicated piece of software. So why do funnels fail? Well, there are a couple of, well, more than a couple. There are several different reasons. Um, Many people might see your messaging They might see your post on LinkedIn. They might see your post on Facebook or Instagram or your video on TikTok. But for some reason, you just didn't get across the message of who it is you are, who you serve, and why it matters that you're the one who serves them. So you might get a lot of people who enter, some who show some interest in what you're offering, but very few who say, yeah, I want to spend money with that person. They funnels don't fail because they're broken. They fail because people drop out along the way through it, within that process that you have created through your website, your social media, your all your marketing. So I like to think of this as a house. So you're walking down the street, you see this beautiful house, there are steps that lead up to a front porch. I look at those steps that lead up to the front porch as attraction. Those steps will lead someone up to a point where they get into a conversation with you. So it's everywhere, everything from a post on LinkedIn to a blog post to an email to a landing page, your website. Those are all things that lead people up the steps to go to your front porch. That's the attention part of the customer journey. Then they get up to your front porch. What do people do on a front porch? A lot of times they sit in the swing, they sit in a rocking chair, they talk, they compare notes, they talk about how their lives are going. That's where people trust you. That front porch is where you build your authority. That's where you show the people who have taken the time to walk up your steps that you're the person who they need to be talking to. That's where you build trust with them. That's where they finally say, yes, this is the person I want to talk to. So that when you say, hey, you want to come in for some coffee? And they actually go into your front door, they actually buy something from you. That's the conversion. That's the commitment. So I look at a funnel as a 3-point process. There's the attention process, the authority building process, and then the conversion process. And I like to think of it as inviting people up the steps to your front porch and inviting them into your home. So, um, this is a customer journey: attraction, authority, conversion. You get someone's attention. Did they notice you? Do they understand what you do? Then you have an opportunity to build authority. Can they trust you? Do you understand my problem? And then you move over to conversion that says, I'm ready to take action. I'm ready to take you up on your offer. I'm ready to give you something in return for a service that you're going to provide for me. So that is a customer journey right there. We'll go on to start about talking about some leaks. Um, I call the first one the attention leak. And that happens when you're doing everything that you can to get your name out there, but people just don't notice you or they don't understand what you do. And the reason this happens is because of unclear or generic messaging, where you're talking about yourself instead of your potential client or the problem that you solve. When someone goes through and is confused about what it is that you do, they're not going to stick around very long. Think in your own terms of how you go when you go to a new website and you're looking for someone to provide a service for you. If you get to their website and it's all me, I've done this, I've done that, then it doesn't attract you. You don't really want to talk to that person. You're going to go back to your search results page and go to the next person until you find someone who lets you know the moment you get on their website that you understand their problem and that you can help them solve it. It all goes back to the two things that we as human beings are designed to do. Our brains are designed to keep us safe and to reserve calories. Now, keep us safe. We decide if we're going to go out and hunt the mammoth today. our brain is going to try to keep us safe. We decide we're going to go chase a rabbit to instead of a mammoth, and we decide that, oh, that's going to take too much energy. I'd rather just sit here and save my energy until we all can go after the mammoth. It's all those Neanderthal uh, lizard brain things that our brains still have, and believe it or not, our brains still do those things. I'm not going to get up and talk at this meeting because I'm afraid to. I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. I'm afraid people will laugh at me. I am not going to offer this product because I'm not sure if I really have what people need. And I don't want to bring attention to myself if someone's not going to hire me to do something. That's keeping you safe, that you know what happens if you don't get up and talk in the meeting. You know what happens if you don't make an offer to someone. And it keeps you safe when you don't do those things. Actually stepping out to make the decision to offer something to someone, that takes courage and it takes calories, it takes energy. And if someone comes to your website and they cannot figure out what it is that you do, how you solve their problem within a few seconds, that's too much energy to think. It takes too long and takes too much energy to try to figure out what it is that you do. We're going to go to someone else. So the attention leak is that first leak that I want to draw your attention to. The next leak is the authority leak. So you've gotten someone's attention. They've come to you, they understand what you are, what you do, who you are. Now you need to show them that you are the person for them. You need to help them build trust in you and your product or your service. You need to help that person be able to make the decision that, yes, this is someone who gets me and I want to learn more about them. You're sitting on someone's front porch and you're learning about what their values are and who they serve and what their goals are. And it helps you build trust with those potential clients. This is where people need information. They need reassurance. They need proof. They need to be able to see that you've done this before. You know what you're doing. You position yourself as the guide who knows how to serve them and how to solve their problem. This is where you use testimonials, case studies, educational content. These are the types of things that people need to see and hear and learn in order to build trust in you. So the third leak is the conversion leak. This is where someone gets to your website, they understand what you do, they trust you, they've followed you along, they follow you on Facebook, they follow you on Instagram, they've found you on LinkedIn and seen all of the businesses that you've worked with, but they get to your website and they have no idea what to do. How do I buy from this person? How do I get information from this person? How do I schedule an appointment with this person? So the conversion leak is where a lot of friction happens. The conversion process is confusing. Maybe there are too many steps. Maybe you're using a button that says learn more, and I that to me is not a clear call to action. Learn more. I don't know what that means. What's going to happen when I click on this button? Where am I going to go? If you say schedule an appointment now, I know I'm going to go to your appointment scheduler when I click on that button. If you say download my guide now, I know that when I click on that button, I'm going to go someplace where I'm going to be able to either input my email address to get the guide, or I'm going to be able to download whatever that guide is immediately. So your calls to action on your website need to be clear. Needs to be one clear step, a very simple process. You need to remove any friction that you think might be there. And it means you may think that you're being a little bit too simple, but When something only takes one click, conversions increase. That's what happens with a good funnel that attracts attention, builds authority, and makes it easy to buy from you. So leak number 4 is I'm calling it a misalignment leak. Your funnel exists. You think it's a pretty good process. You think you've done a really good job of helping that person go from one stage to the next. But maybe your message doesn't speak directly to the people you want to reach. So maybe you've got it in your head that I'm going to be talking to moms of young children, but the service that you offer is talking to your teenager. So if your funnel leads parents of young children through the system, but you really want to talk to parents about how to talk to their teenager, you're talking to the wrong person. And that's a misalignment. So it also means talking to beginners like they're experts, using lingo, using language that maybe they don't understand. Another thing is a lot of people will try to sell before they do anything. They skip right to conversion. They don't take the time to get attention, build authority. So trying to sell too early, using the same message for everyone. Everything comes back to that first message. You have to know who you're talking to and what problem you solve, and offering the wrong thing at the wrong stage. So you haven't attracted anyone's attention yet, but you're offering everyone testimonials on how great you are at financial management. That's the wrong place to talk about that. So you need to ask yourself, what does my customer need at this particular stage? What are they thinking right now? How do you get that information? You ask them. You go on Facebook. Hey, I'd like to get some information about people who follow me. Could you just take this quick 4 question survey so I can get a better idea of the things that you're looking for? Or someone, you have a Facebook group and there's someone who um, comments quite a lot. DM that person. I notice that you're very active in my Facebook group. Could we meet? Could we meet on Zoom? I'd really like to pick your brain and find out what it is that you like, what it is that you don't like, what you'd like for me to do from now on. Ask the people who you're talking to about your message. Does it reach them? Is it effective? And how can you make it better? So if your funnel doesn't match the way people buy, they won't move forward. They won't continue in your process. And then the leak number 5 is that follow-up leak. Fortune is in the follow-up. I am so guilty of this. Following up with people can seem like the most daunting task. Making a phone call, writing an email, sending a DM to someone. For some reason, follow-up is so hard. And when we don't do it, it shows. I'm sure that you've heard that it takes sometimes 7 to 15 touches for someone to hear your message before they actually say, "Yeah, I think I want to talk to you." Now, what is a touch? An email, a social media post, uh, a blog post, um, someone a lead magnet, something that someone downloads from you because you've posted something about these five mistakes people make when planning for retirement. So every time you offer something like that, it is a touch point with your potential client or with your audience. Um, People aren't going to buy immediately. They need to be touched. whether it's through email, retargeting, or checking in with them. Uh, and that ties back to authority, that you continue to build your authority as you follow up with people because, hey, this person provided this really nice guide, and now they're checking with me to see if I have any questions about it. Or they sent me this guide that I asked for, and now they're sending me something else that is really, really cool, is really going to help me a lot. And this is all for free. I wonder what they're going to do if I pay them. Maybe they might give me something really cool, like a message or a product or a service that's going to help me. So if you're not following up, you are leaving money on the table. You're leaving ready to buy clients behind. So let's look at a leaky funnel. Where are you losing clients? Just think about this. As I'm going through, think about this. Is it in the attention stage? Are you not getting people's attention? Are you not being clear about what it is that you do and how you serve them? Are you losing people in that authority stage where you're not taking the time to build trust with them? Are you losing people? Do you have a conversion leak where people just can't figure out what to do when they get to your website? They don't know what the next step is. Are you talking? Are you giving the right message? And did you take some time to follow up with them? Those are all places where you can lose clients. Every one of these leaks costs you clients. You don't have to fix them all at one time. You don't need a whole new strategy. But if you plug one hole, that's going to result in success. So think about what's going to happen if you plug 2 or 3 holes. So think about how you're inviting people into your business, how you showing them who you are, what you do, and why you're the person to serve them, and see where people might be dropping off. So let's talk about a 5-step framework to help you as you're building this process that you use to take potential clients through the story, through your story, through their story, even on how to get to know you and how to take advantage of your product or your service. You have to start with attention. How are people discovering you? Where do they see you first? First of all, a lot of people may not know they have exactly what their problem is. They may know that they have an issue, but they're not exactly sure what their problem is. You're going to get their attention by saying, are you having trouble losing that last 15 pounds? This is the service that I offer. Um, so start with attention. Think about where people first come into contact with you. Also think, I imagine, I'm gonna step out on a limb here and say that some of you may be providing a service that solves a problem you had and you could not find the solution to the problem you had. You built it yourself, and now you're offering that service to other people. So think back to what it was like when you were looking for someone who could help solve your problem, and then use that. The next step is build authority. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure. I see a lot of ads on Facebook and TikTok, and some of them seem just a bit too good to be true. And if I don't feel like I can trust you, I'm not necessarily going to buy from you. So you have to take the time to build authority with them. How do you build trust? You provide them with information, give them something free that is good enough that they will give you their email for it. And then you can use emails to just build up that trust. You don't want to sell something in every email you send out. You want to be able to provide value to people. This is something I just found. I just found this product. I have nothing to do with it, but I found out that it was wonderful. Take a look at it. Just see what you think. Let me know what you think. Webinars, just like this one, specific content on your website, whether it's blog posts or educational content or a podcast where you are appearing on someone else's podcast and you're talking about the problem that you solve. The more podcasts you appear on, the more people see you talking about this, the more trust you build, the more authority you create in what you offer. And then you've offered this service to people before, it's worked. Take the time to ask them, hey, would you just write me a quick couple of sentences? Just a quick testimonial. Better yet, would you meet me on Zoom and then let me record you as we talk about how we work together and what worked for you and how it helped you solve your problem. Video seems to be where it's at these days. Find, ask for testimonials. Uh, don't be so concerned about being too forward with someone. Ask for a testimonial. What's the worst they can say? No. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me to help you with your problem. If you need anything in the future, let me know. Then you create a clear conversion path. Now, what does that mean? It means that your path to conversion needs to be so obvious that a goldfish would know how to take action. A goldfish could look at your website and say, "Oh, I know, I have to press here." I know that seems a little silly, but it needs to be so clear, so simple that there's no question. This person wants me to click this button, and this button is going to take me to this place. So make sure that your path to conversion is a clear one. Step 4 is connect all of the steps. This is where a lot of times funnels break, where there's no bridge from attention to authority or no bridge from authority to conversion. So, as you're leading people through this path, this process, it needs to feel natural to them and not like you're jumping all over the place. So, each stage needs to lead to the next step. And then step 5, find the leak. Where are people leaving? Where are you losing people? So you send out emails and your analytics say that no one's opened them. Your subject line of your email needs to be upgraded. So there's a leak right there. So then people read your emails, but they don't click through. Your message is not strong enough to lead them to want to click on whatever link that you have in that email. That's another leak. That's where you're going to lose people. It could be that they click through and they get to your website or your landing page, and that's as far as they go. Well, maybe that means your message isn't right. Maybe that doesn't attract people's attention. Maybe you're not explaining better what it is that you do and how you serve them. You lose people there. So you fix that. And then people go to your website and they click through to schedule a meeting. But then when they get to your calendar, They just leave. So that's another leak. That's someplace where you've lost someone. Maybe the meeting that you're suggesting isn't explained clearly enough for them to say, "Yeah, I think I do want to meet this person." So just take some time to go through the process that you use to attract attention, to build authority, and to encourage conversions. So, what I'd like to do is take some time to sort of build a funnel. We'll create a process right here. So, imagine you're a financial advisor. You help people prepare for retirement. You want more clients. How do you do that? You feel like you are reaching out on social media. You feel like you are reaching out to past clients, but right now it just doesn't feel consistent and it doesn't seem like you're getting the people that you think you should be getting. So start with attention. Let's talk about where people find you. Where do people first come across your financial management company? And at that point, you want to provide information that will attract their attention. It could be something simple like social media posts about the three mistakes that could cost you in your retirement. Or will you run out of money after you retire? Do you have enough money to retire? That's something that is going to grab attention. If they don't understand what you do or why what you do matters, they're just going to scroll right on through. It's the doom scrolling thing. So if they're going through Facebook and scrolling through reels and something comes up from you as your financial management person, um, and they continue to scroll, then your message didn't work with them. So so we'll go ahead and let's create a social media post about the three mistakes that could cost you money in your retirement. So what do you do with that? I think that's something where you don't ask for anything. You just give details, give information, give value. Here are three places, boom, 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 that could cost you money in your retirement. You can always put something on there that's like, you want to learn more, talk to me, call me, schedule an appointment, whatever. Providing information and attracting someone's attention, that's what this is all about. So you've created this wonderful social media post. You've written a blog on are you on track for retirement? And you've posted that on LinkedIn, and people have gone to your website to read your blog. Now what do? You capture and guide them. So once they find you, what's the next step? What do they do next? Well, it could be that you have a free guide on are you ready to retire? Do you have enough money to retire? You create a guide, a wonderful guide that people can download for free in exchange for their email address. It keeps them engaged. This is this is where you start to build your authority, where you start giving them information and good knowledge and value without asking for anything in return other than an email address. So step 3, let's build some authority. Let's hold a webinar on how to retire without running out of money. And you provide so much value in this webinar for the people who are attending that they think, I need to know more from this person. I need to know more about how they're going to help me make sure I have enough money to retire. Then we make an offer. This could be something as simple as schedule a free retirement consultation. No obligation to follow up and buy anything. Just let's set aside to have 30 minutes to talk about your retirement and where you are right now and what you want to accomplish with that. sometimes just talking to someone will really help you figure out what they know and give you a better feeling of how they will serve you and if you mesh. You want to deal with people who you mesh with. Think back to the people who are your favorite people to serve. Those people who, when they call you, you're like, yes, I can't wait to talk to her. Those are the people that you want to attract and make an offer to. And then at the end of that consultation, they'll have a really good idea of if they trust you. And then at the end of that consultation, you can say, I have several options that we could use to follow through with making sure that you have enough money for retirement. I'm going to be getting the best information for you and help you choose the best products. So make sure that the whole thing lines up. It's not all that complicated. You help people find you, you help them trust you, and you help them make the next step. All right. So let's just recap the three things that every funnel, every process, customer journey should do is get attention, build your authority, and make conversion easy. There are three things you need to check. And it's these three things. Are you getting attention? Are you building authority? And do you make the conversion easy? Most businesses try to lead with the conversion first, but customers need those building steps before they decide to do that, to buy from you. Now, funnels don't fail because they're broken. They fail because people drop out. And when you fix those leaks, you fix those spots where people are dropping out, you don't need more marketing. You just need a better journey to help people get through the process that you've built. Now, all of this starts with a clear message. It doesn't really matter whether you're building a website, trying to define your ideal client, creating a customer journey. Um, uh, it all starts with the message that appeals to the people you want to work with, the people you serve. And that's where I come in. So I'm offering a free 30-minute call where we can just talk about your business, your messaging. Who are your clients? Who are you trying to reach? What is the message you're using now? What is something that maybe you could do right away that is going to help this as you go through this process of building this funnel, this process for your customer's journey? I will put in the chat once we stop for questions, how to schedule a call with me. It's all it is 30 minutes. And I would love to learn more. First of all, it helps me learn about your business, and I get to talk to some really, really interesting people. We'll sit down, we'll talk about your business, talk about maybe something you can do right away and move forward. Now, I said before that this is one of the three websites or one of the three webinars that I give every quarter. The next one is in April, April 24th, and it's all about how your website is part of an entire marketing system. Your website isn't just a thing that sits there and acts like a brochure. Your website is actually an employee that works for you 24/7 and never takes a vacation and is never sick and never has to stay home to take care of kids and is always there. And so we'll talk about how to make sure that your website is doing all of those things for you. So that's what I've got. Let me go ahead and very quickly put a couple of things in the chat. First, I'll put my email. So there's that. Next, I'll put where to go to schedule a free call with me. I'd love to talk with you. And that's it. That's all I've got for you today.
Good
If
stuff.
anyone has any questions, please let me know or yell at me that I did something so totally wrong.
No, it's super interesting. Thank you very much. I might take you up on the call. I don't have any questions personally. It was super clear.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. This will be up on YouTube. So I get it downloaded and up on YouTube, you'll have that link. If you know anyone who you think might benefit from this, please share that link with them. John, I think you're muted.
Yes, that would help to actually unmute. Susie, that was just amazing. I'm not even joking. Like, that was one of the best funnel webinars, discussions I've ever had in my life. And I've paid tens of thousands of dollars in high-level coaches, some of the best in the world, Forbes featured coaches. And they've never explained it in, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm 50, I got 5 kids. I've always been so overwhelmed with the whole funnel thing. I've got to go high level, and I probably only used 90, well, it's got 98% not used of that system. Even though the white label gave me funnel templates, and I did one once and I had to take a month's break because that like that like my head was like, no, I just need to step out from that for a minute. Um, I'm a huge creative. I post on LinkedIn every single day, and I managed to get 10,000 followers. I'm number one in my niche in the UAE. And monetizing though, you need a funnel. You need an appropriate system to get them off platform. They always say that. They're always telling you that. But I think that's the symbol of expertise, though, isn't it? Because I'm a trained teacher and I'm a journalist, but when you have an expert, it means they can take something that might be complicated and actually make it simple. Like the analogies just really resonated with me, and like I feel, oh, I want to go and build a funnel now. I think actually I've been in avoidance for the last 3 years. Like there's always
Oh, shoot.
some procrastination going. I mean, I close all my deals. I am the funnel. I'm fortunate to be a communication strategist. I'm an expert, and I coach executives on high level communication. So once someone talks to me, I got a 90% close rate. You're going to buy something from me, yeah, at some point in the discussion. That's how I've made my business work. Me, just me. But you can't scale. And absolutely 100%, I'm going to take you off on that. I'm happy to pay you for anything you want to do later on. We can talk about that. But the other thing is, please let me give you a recommendation of some kind on, I don't know how I can help you, or let me know. Is there a LinkedIn
Well, thank
recommendation for
you.
you? I don't mind doing a video. It's just that you've been so
Oh my
generous with
goodness.
your time. I appreciate that.
Mm,
Thank you
brilliant.
so much. Thank you. I so appreciate that. I feel like I need to my goal with my business is to help other businesses succeed. And um writing a book. Who's not writing a book? Writing a book about my experiences with my kids and what they've taught me and how those experiences have helped me in my business. And all of that has taught me that our stories, your experiences make you the business person you are today. And don't shy away from them. Don't shy away from those experiences. Be vulnerable with people and let them know who you are. Because once they know who you are, they're more likely to build a relationship with you. And that's what this business is all about, is building a relationship with someone and helping someone else build a business that
I mean,
works for them.
yeah, you're speaking as with the feminine energy, you see. You're speaking with the female lived experience. And I think that's what's, well, not only missing from the AI world, but I actually thinking it's missing from a lot of female coaches that I've had. But yes, so I think that my question, let's get to a question, shall we? At some point, we can chat all day here. But the question is, with all of the AI features and new tech. There's a new thing coming out every minute. You can almost count it on the clock.
Mhm.
The strategy, of course, the strategy is clear. I think it's applicable regardless of what platform you're in. That's universal. But would you recommend anything in particular in terms of tech or AI or content writing? I mean, there's a lot of Claude. I mean, I'm using Claude now. I've got my Claude skills up and projects and so on. What are your thoughts on content, email sequence?
There are so many things out there, and something new comes out every day. And I fell into the trap of, oh, this is new. I need to learn this. And it finally hit me that I just need to find the tools that work for me and ignore everything else. And
Right.
that's hard because I have shiny object syndrome. I
Yep.
love the newest thing. I love to go do and learn the newest thing.
And I think, how do I not know about you? Why are you so hidden in the recesses of the internet? You need to be, we need to connect on LinkedIn, of course, but yes, I think the world needs to know a little bit more about Susie Taylor.
I'm just this little person in Podunk, Ohio, living on 40 acres that I mow and rent out to a local farmer. That's all. That's me. And I thank you. Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Sunday.
Yeah, actually, I actually had a good time and I've learned a lot. Like
Oh,
you
good.
mentioned, I've joined more than one webinar, and what you've just mentioned just blew my mind. Especially the part of using questionnaires to get back to customers, get their feedback. What have been or what have they been wanting to know, or the anticipation. I want to try that out, then really see if it will work out for my business. I have multiple businesses, but I think anticipation has been my problem. And the aspect where digital marketing comes in, she mentioned content creating. I've been trying to put out maybe videos or pictures. Sometimes it's not easy running the business and then making out time to put out all these posts there. But at the end of the day, thank you so much. I also have to book a call with you and then talk more about it. Thank you so much for
That
your time. I
would
appreciate
I
it.
would greatly appreciate that. I also have a way to build like a 90-day social media plan, and it all fits together. So it's not 90 posts of 90 different topics. It leads people through a process of your business and what you do and how you do it. And I would love to talk with you about that. So yes, please
I'll do
schedule
that.
some
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I thank you so much. I look forward to talking with all of you later. And again, I'll send out the link. This will be on YouTube, so I'll send out the link. And if you know of anyone else who you think might benefit from this, please share with them. All right.
Perfect.
You guys have a wonderful weekend, and thank you again so much. You've just made me feel wonderful.
Take care. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Ta-ra all.
Bye.